think any Jewish people that vote for a Democrat, I think it shows either a total lack of knowledge or great disloyalty.
Trump's anti-Semitic remarks from yesterday were met with quite a bit of backlash, not only by the Jewish Americans in this country, but by those on the left who found those types of comments absolutely disgusting. There were also those on the right who were, I guess, courageous enough to speak out finally. But let me give you some information about how he's handling this story today. He has decided to do, in typical Trump fashion, what he always does: double down. Let's take a look.
The Democrats have gone very far away from Israel. I cannot understand how they can do that. They don't want to fund Israel. They want to take away foreign aid to Israel. They want to do a lot of bad things to Israel. In my opinion, you vote for a Democrat, you're being very disloyal to Jewish people, and you're being very disloyal to Israel.
And he also decided to list all the wonderful things he's done for the Jewish community.
So I have been responsible for a lot of great things for Israel. One of them was moving the embassy to Jerusalem, making Jerusalem the capital of Israel. One of them was the Golan Heights. One of them, frankly, is Iran. Iran is a very far weakened nation right now, much different. Hopefully something works out. We'll see if it happens. It happens. Wait a minute. Wait. No president has ever done anywhere close to what I've done.
Okay, so we're gonna get to actually more outrageous statements by him. I mean, maybe the worst of his presidency in a second on this topic. But I wanna point out that almost every Jewish American group in the country has condemned Trump's remarks and has pointed out that it is anti-Semitic trope to question their loyalty. And there's only one group that has supported the president that is in any way Jewish, as far as we can tell right now, as things stand, the Republican Jewish Coalition. Now that's not surprising because they're Republicans. But ironically, he's been the most anti-Semitic when talking to them. So he once told them, no one knows how to renegotiate better than this room. Okay. I mean, trope 101, right? And then he went on to say, well, I know you guys aren't gonna vote for me. But this was back in 2015, 2016. Wait, why wouldn't they vote for you? It's the Republican Jewish Coalition. He said, because you like to buy your politicians. Massive anti-Semitic trope number 2. And I didn't know this until today. He apparently also told them, while talking to them, that when talking about Benjamin Netanyahu, he called him your prime minister. No. They're Americans.
Wow.
Benjamin Netanyahu is not their prime minister. And then you go on to question Jewish loyalty. And so who are you referring to? They're disloyal to who? If you're saying they're disloyal to Israel, they're not Israelis, they're Americans. But you cannot get that through your head, and that is another anti-Semitic trope, the one that you pretended you cared about regarding Ilhan Omar about dual loyalty, which she never said, but you actually did say on several occasions. So his anti-Semitic tropes are a dime a dozen, but the fake quotes about Ilhan Omar have gotten so much more coverage than the actual quotes of Donald Trump. But that's because he commits one atrocious, he says one atrocious comment after the other and after the other. And in fact, the next one is overshadowing all the other anti-Semitic things he said.
Yes, but before we get to that, I actually want to talk a little bit about why I think Ilhan Omar's statements got more attention than what Trump has been saying over the last 2 days. Look, the right wing has an entire ecosystem set up to amplify the types of stories they want to amplify and then minimize the damage that Trump does to his own administration and to the party, right? So, I mean, we talked about this just last Friday after a prison guard tried to run over protesters in Rhode Island, right? So he did it, he drove through them. Luckily, no one gets killed, no one gets, severely hurt, but people had to get treated in the hospital. And what happens? Lou Dobbs goes on Fox Business and provides cover for the prison guard who tried to murder them by running them over.
Meanwhile, the Democrats throw Ilhan Omar under a bus.
Exactly.
Thereby validating the outrageous attacks against her. So last thing on this, so when he questions their loyalty, it's either questioning their loyalty to this country, which is, again, an anti-Semitic trope, or questioning their loyalty to him, right? So he's saying either, well, you're an an Israeli and Netanyahu is your prime minister, and if you don't support Republicans, you're being disloyal to Israel, or you're being disloyal to me, the president of this country. Well, the people who said that in the past were, I don't care if you get it like all touchy if you're a Republican, Mussolini said that, Hitler said that. They said the Jews are not loyal to us and we have to do something about it. And then they did something about it. And then you wonder why Jewish Americans don't vote for right wingers. It's not really that complicated. About 80% of Jewish Americans vote for Democrats because they're not right wingers who think, oh yeah, you better be loyal to this country or this president, otherwise there's gonna be consequences.
And one other thing, what prompted Trump's statements yesterday, right? The very beginning of this story. It was Kilmeade on Fox and Friends, who questioned why Jewish Americans have decided to vote for Democrats over Trump. And so in his own way, he questioned the loyalty, and then that prompted Trump to say what he said. And then he doubles down today, and guess what Kilmeade did? He had to defend Trump because in essence, he's got to defend himself. Take a look.
The president brought up yesterday, I think any Jewish people that vote for a Democrat, I think it shows either a lack of knowledge or great disloyalty, because if you compare the two administrations and their allegiance to Israel and their alliance, I think that by far this president has shown more of an allegiance to Israel than President Obama has. So he thinks that somehow that doesn't turn up in the ballot box, where President Trump only got 24% of the American Jewish vote. I guess they could be voting on other things. That could be another factor.
Yeah, first of all, the fact that I've been the best president for Israel is not remotely true. Other United States presidents literally saved Israel from getting wiped off the map. So Truman jumped in to save Israel. US president after US president has gone into the great defense of Israel, and Obama gave Israel Iron Dome. Overall, US presidents, along with Congresses, have given Israel $140 billion. And now Trump comes along like, oh, I'm the best for them. And then has the audacity to say, to quote Wayne Allen Root and say it in his own tweet, that he is the equivalent of the king of Israel and the second coming of God.
It's disgusting.
Are there no bounds? Are there no bounds? And with Donald Trump, the answer is always, of course not. Just when you think you hit the bottom of the barrel, you realize there is no bottom to that barrel. The guy just compared himself to Jesus Christ and declared himself the king of Israel while attacking 80% of Jews in this country. Lunacy. Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.